What's good, YouTube, and welcome to the house. It turns out here in 2025, controversy still sells. If you've been living under a rock, we found out the legal reason why Konami has not reprinted Air Neos, and it happens to be a character called Ravedactyl, and my quick take on it, there's undeniable similarities between the two characters, and it was stated that they went around comic conventions looking for inspiration. So even if it's in the back of their head, there could be borrowed elements between Air Neos and Ravedactyl. However, the creator has said he doesn't mind if they reprint the Ravedactyl. Go ahead, he would never want to take that away from the community, and in fact, he would even want to reach out and work with Konami if they'd want to ever do something. But there's legal documents involved from before that. They go over that in Ruxin's video if you want to catch up and you haven't heard about all of this. But what happened afterwards is the cards started selling, with a lot of people assuming this is indefinitely on a no reprint list now. And to its credit, it's been taken away from a lot of media, video games, and other stuff, and it is at a low of $380+ with sales going up unlimited $275, first edition at $375 since everything went down, and the ultimate rare is at 4 digits lowest for a near mint copy of a first edition. You're looking at 1,050, 1,500, just crazy amounts. And if you go through here, we do see a sale at 1,200 and at 1,050. I think, with my personal opinion on this, purely speculation, that it's probably not worth it in Konami's interest to go ahead and, after all this time staying away from the card, suddenly do something with this. The attention, while it was a good amount, it was all the Yu-Gi YouTubers talking about it, etc., I feel like it just isn't in their interest, when there's been legal documents involved, to try to head the back and make some kind of deal just to push this back into circulation. And we've already seen in Rush Duels them go a different direction than Air Neos, and they're creating new characters instead. So I do think, personally, that it's on a no reprint list and would continue to be so, but Konami can always change that, and that is not indefinite. It is just until there's a good reason for them to decide to try. And again, the guy on the other side says, hey, go for it. But that could be a trap card, couldn't it? Mistaken Arrest is going up for its secret rare, and if you're not buying secret, you're achoo, maybe allergic to gold, because those are the only other options. There's the gold letter rare, and then there is the gold rare itself. People in the Discord were talking about, yeah, I'm settling. It's $1 versus $18 lowest now for the secret rare, and it's selling somewhat consistently within that range, and 15+ being the going price now. I think this is a solid tech option. We've seen it actually pop up between WCQ formats in the past, and yeah, I do understand why people are going for it now. Also, DD Designator is a tech we talked about early on here, and it has gone up once again, and now the IOC reprint version is even going for this card. So be aware, it only has super rare versions, and IOC has been reprinted a good amount, but that doesn't put the most of these in circulation. And DD Warrior Lady's always cool to see too, but this is for Malice, because banishing your cards is always not a bad thing, and that can be the back end of the card. Tuning is going up, and this is my L. When the Discord was talking about options, tuning did come up. I was like, well, the other card's already selling out, and tuning could be good for past formats, so it's a hedgeable bet, but I don't know about it versus the other options. Yeah, the QCR spiked up pretty hard, $24, and people are going for it. Then you have TG Hyper Librarian also going right now. It's not completely gone if you want to get yours using that TCG player link in the description down below, costing you nothing extra to support the channel directly for the cards you'd already be buying. This card is towards $6+ at this point, quickly goes towards 10, and thanks to it being a rarity collection card, you're not pressed to get that version because it's not from a nostalgia pool, it's out of rarity too, and you have tons of different options to pick and choose from for cheap. But be aware the QCR is going. Speaking of the nostalgia pool, Called by the Grave Alter Art. Well, I guess that's not technically Nostalgia Pool, that's Alter Art Pool, right? And that's a debut. But exclusivity in a pack. You get where I'm going. This is one of the only upward motions in Stampede, and it continues to go up and is above the $80 mark pretty solidly. This crosses fandoms into the live twin stuff. I prefer the OG art. I'm an old school Yu-Gi-Oh player in terms of loving creepy stuff like the little hand and the drag down grave guy. But when it does come to this, I understand the fan base. Having a VTuber meta kind of card around here, and you go to the Master Duel section and you look at how many VTubers are here, it is very relatable to a lot of modern Yu-Gi-Oh players, and I get why they're picking that version. This is a past tragedy for me. I stayed away from this suitcase because I already had the OCG one, and I figured they want to extended art the Secret Rare, and I was right. However, I thought I would get this Blue Eyes Quarter Century Secret Rare cheap at some point. It's one of my favorites. I love the world in the background, even though it's the tablet art commonly used. Blue Eyes, I love the look of it, the memories of the Jump promo, and yeah, up towards almost $500. And the exclusive cards inside, which I did say would probably go up over time when they used to be $40. You can see the market prices are way up from there, and now they're all trying to be triple-digit cards, but the most recent buyouts are Swordstalker and Soggy. I get there is collectability to a lot of these. They're highest rarity for some of the cards. Battle Locks for LOB format is one I held off on, and I should have just got early. And if they do ever do Time Wizard for a YCS and it's LOB format, I might have to go ahead and splurge and get 3 for myself. But points aside, there's tons of these that are somewhat exclusive to this, or they're the highest rarity within here, while others that have other options like Legend are way down in the set, even though it's an LOB format staple. It's like $4 because you have a retro pack rewave, you already have an ultra rare and Kaiba collection, so it's more of the stuff rising to the top that just doesn't have other options for classic collections, it feels like. Grandmaster of the Six Samurai talking about old accolades. I hadn't checked in on this in a while, and the Unlim is up towards 80 and the first edition is towards 160. That's actually down a little on the first set over time, but up on the Unlimited. I found that interesting. I did tune into one of Marcus Hayden's streams where he was doing redo format, and this was in the top cut, and I've also heard about Sam's in Edison. So Six Samurai is finding its way as a rogue deck mostly, but still able to punch up and do it, and other past formats, and I find that extremely cool, and the high-end version is still fetching a very nice price, and even the lower high-end, the Unlimited, is doing well for itself. Dark Fusion Secret Rare is $12. We've covered that before. The Ultimate Rare is $8. I feel like I'm living in Bizarro World, and we've discussed OTS ultis and their fall off plenty of times, but the people still aren't scared to buy out ones that are perceived as good or collectible. This is a max rarity hero card. This is $8. This is wild to me on its fallout, but I have seen pictures where this just looks terribly ugly and others where it looks amazing. And that's the problem with modern OTS, besides just the picks in the pack. It's also the quality control. Some of these foils just don't get embossed. Some of them look ultra rare at times. And Dark Fusion, people I guess don't necessarily want to buy it online. You even see a little bump up at one point and then just falling back down. And it's not just this card that's out of the metagame, right? Like Silver Hat Rabbit recently found itself in the metagame. People only went for the secret and didn't really go for the ulti all that much. I pointed out the ulti at the time thinking, oh, that's a good suggestion. Look at this. You can even see the graph where it had upwards motion. It's now 13, 14. It's coming back down a bit. Yet the ultimate rare is readily available at 12, some of them under. And that's just so wild to me that it's falling off this bad. Pitstain Exodia is less than a 10 promo version. The 10 promo version is $12. Pitstain is half of that at $6. And I still love the community for helping this one fail. It could go up sometime because Exodia collectible, Blue Eyes is coming, all that stuff. But this is exactly why I want to bring up this whole conversation. Blue Eyes is going to be in an OTS pack as an ulti, and that's a hype beast card, one of the biggest in the game. You see it sell out in so many sets. I don't want you to shop with FOMO on it. I want you to shop based on how it looks to you and how it would feel in your collection, and what would you feel like missing out on one if it went up. Oh, did you just want it for the money? My point is, not everything that would be deemed super collectible that should be triple digits when it's printed is going to do so. And Exodia certainly has that clout, although it does get overestimated in collectability. It has the clout pull that if they'd done the foil right, they embossed the head, the mouth, and other parts of it, and actually worked foiling into the picture. If it looked good, it'd be above 50 and really should be a triple digit card if it looked beautiful. However, a 10 promo is able to do double the pull. That is so wild. Now, again, the fall off, we've talked about how certain cards, meta cards, find their way back up in price. They rival the QCRs in those cases, and Imperm looks way better. You have droplets that look good and bad, but Imperm mostly had some solid quality control on it, I feel. When it comes to these other options, I'm scratching my head and lost on where they're at in the market, other than maybe people really don't want to buy online just like Ghost Rares because they're scared of what's going to show up and how bad this also is for OTS shops. This is the pull to play in tournaments, and you're barely getting back entry, in some cases getting less than entry because a lot of places end up charging $7, and this ulti's less than $7, and you're getting the chase pull. Konami, you've got to fix it. I know they watched some of my videos. I don't know if they bothered to watch this late into it, but the quality control, the choices versus like, oh, that already has a collector rare, let's ultimate rare it too. Like, stop cannibalizing your own picks on top of it and really figure out what you're doing. But with cheap Starlights coming, I cannot figure that they're going to stop cannibalizing their own picks. Blue Eyes is a different beast than any of the cards we talked about, but just don't shop with FOMO. Really figure out if you would like that in your collection when it hits. Dragon Master Lord's Quarter Century Secret Rare exclusive card is getting bought up, and my Discord's actually pointing to the OCG perhaps being the ones to buy this. Let me know if you think that is the case. It's up towards 110, and a set that is becoming thirsty for value, so I could understand even in English, it's starting to become a slow lightning rod for value as one of the exclusive cards to get. It's a fact not all that relevant. It can't be targeted or destroyed by card effects, and when you have 25 or more cards in your graveyard, you do double piercing. Woo! And then if your opponent has 25 or more, detach a material from this card, and you special any monster from your deck, extra deck, or graveyard. It does not say ignoring summoning conditions, sadly, but it's still a pretty powerful effect if these conditions are filled. You don't really rely on that with these cards, right? But the art is super cool. It does have a Blue Eyes reference and the Dark Magician referenced card all together, and Dark Magician Girl. So, I mean, it's referencing those cards, but they are not directly them. And we've seen how that goes with other copies and how many forced buyouts happen on them. I will bring up that Dark Law, for the longest, had forced buyout after forced buyout would spike to 100, come down towards 50, spike to 100, go down towards 60, and then even 50 again, and then spike towards... That happened like 5 or 6 times, and we covered it on the history of this channel if you go back through old videos. I think that when it comes down to it, forced buyouts can work long-term on super exclusive cards, but is this the OCG dipping in? Or is it TCG interest? Let me know what you think, because OCG interest has hit our market before. I directly saw the sales going to the OCG and the vendors who worked for OCG vendors, and with them buying them up to send them off, multiple of them. And it reached a high of 2K right after that. And then it did nothing but fall off. It stabilized at 1250, quote unquote, and then it just trickled on down from there, down to 11, down to 1050, down under 4 digits, trying to hang on to there. And now you can get it for around $730. The fall off, you know, it is the COVID era that caused this. That's undeniably going to be a different level of hype, but a 1/3 price tag on this now versus its hype, that is a really big fall off versus, like we just talked about Grandmaster and me remembering it higher. It was like 180 to 210 and now it's 165. Like, it's a 25% fall off, not a 66% fall off, or like a QCR has now been printed usually causes something like this. Yet there's no alternative for this card. It's just, it really fell off. So if it is the OCG going in, when they go away, they're not coming back typically. They've gotten the copies they want unless something super special happens over there. It's usually a one-time grab at it, and the amount it's up doesn't scream that to me. I haven't heard any ears on the ground really siphoning them up in mass quantities like I did with this card. But let me know your thoughts. Are you maybe a customer here in the TCG? Are you collecting all those exclusive cards? Are you going to wait for it to come back down, or do you think it's only going to go up? I really do want to hear back, because it is one of the cooler looking ones out of all those locked cards. Thanks for watching today's Market Watch and hearing an old man ramble. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy these conversations, and I really do want to hear back from y'all.